Go ahead, say it now.
You in the grill pit, bitch.
One time, like this. For those who hop and make your one nigga straight loony after taking
who was accepted as a god in Europe long before the birth of Christ, accepted quite a few Africans as deities. Imhotep, this great African who was the world's first multi-genius.
This is S.A.F. Moyer, prison lawyer. I want to welcome you to the Grill Prig. Thank you, doctor, for that introduction. I couldn't have said it any better myself. And this is S.A.F. Moyer, prison lawyer. 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 What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What's up? This is S.A.F. Moyer, prison lawyer. And I want to say what's up. Man, what's up? Ron B in the middle, what's up with you? Also, I want to say what's up to our fans who support us. Thank you. Like I said, many a times we don't need 100 million people following us. We just need you. Support, share, like, and you know I don't tap dance. I don't dance. You're not here to see me rap, tell jokes. I'll do that. Just give it to you raw. Give it to you all. This is S.A.F. Mo. And right off the bat, I want to say I'm happy. A boycott is working. On Wednesday, Target laid bare to the damage from marking down its mountain of inventory. So Target in the second quarter seeing a 90% slump in their profits. Great. Fantastic. Our boycott is working. Boycott is working. Thanks to all you individuals who've been boycotting Target, consciously, subconsciously, not shopping with those individuals for whatever reasons. I have my reasons. I'm sure a lot of you have your reasons why. But let's continue the pressure. Let's continue until they figure it out. It's not economics, it's not inflation. People don't want your funny colored dishes. People don't want to deal with your white supremacy tactics that you call whatever you call. We can get further into that, but let's just break down the economics of why they think that Target is not performing as well, so they can justify it. They use economics as it's social economics, but they want to just specifically say economics. They want to pit Walmart against Target and say, well, Walmart did a decent job. They suffered some losses, but not as severe as Target. And the reasons why is because what they call discretionary shopping. Being Target has all these discretionary goods and Walmart doesn't. They have the same shit. If you look in their stores, they're offering pretty much the same shit. Maybe Target doesn't have it at the same level Walmart has it at. Maybe not even at the same prices. I don't know. I just know they really carry the same shit. Target's supposed to be higher line than Walmart, but it's the same garbage. Funny colored dishes, shit you don't need, stuff that your kids want that they don't need. And I'm not for Target or Walmart. Let's get it straight right now. The reason I'm furthering it with Target is because, as you will see as we break this down, Target is a little bit more devious at what they're doing and how they spend their money. Walmart, even though I don't like Walmart, they try to be all inclusive, right? You don't see as many Caucasians working at Walmart or shopping at Walmart. And they've done a lot to bring in that business. But I'm not here talking on economics. I'm talking social economics, right? So it came down, they were like, okay, it was discretionary goods that caused it. And I look at discretionary goods again as being perishable, non-perishable. To me, they really carry the same amount, same type of inventory. A Target with its funny colored dishes and whatever you have, a little bit different than Walmart. But yet and still, we know that it was us consciously boycotting Target that played a part. I'm not saying holistically or in totality. I'm saying in totality, but not pointing to one factor, because it is the economy and inflation. People are not spending discretionary goods, but and two, people are consciously, subconsciously, consciously understanding that Target does no good for our community. because they have no social connectivity to the community, right? They have this vision of the safe city. And if you saw my last episode about the Jetsons, you know, they have this cleansing understanding of cleansing the city and making it crime free, but crime free in their discretion is removing it of all individuals that does not look like them, similar to their stores, right? So, you know, in the whole retail context, this conversation falls into retail, but I like to break it down further at a social understanding. So we know back in 2017 that there was an article written. This is before George Floyd, right? This is 2017, right? Articles written about people boycotting Target. And it was no, for us, Target being burnt down was just part and parcel to the problem, right? Knowing their history. So in 2017, we're asking this question. Why don't we ask this question again in 2022? Is the boycott affecting people? Because nobody just hasn't stopped, because Target's still continuing with the same practices that they've always practiced. So I'm asking that question, right? I'm saying, is it our boycott that's causing Target sales slumps? And can we continue it until Target either comes to the table or Target does not exist anymore? And when I say come to the table, Target, what I'm telling you is atone for your sins and try to correct this irreparable harm that you've caused in our communities, right? And we're not asking you for no damn jobs. We're not coming to you for no damn handouts. We want you to correct the problems that you caused. So when you say that, SAF Mo, what do you mean? It's SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. This SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. And you're a real kid. What do you mean? I want to bring you back. First of all, for those individuals, the couple of people who did not see the whole Jetson episode, and I mean, that in itself, I did it for a reason, right? The Jetson episode was done for a reason, because I'm trying to build up to a point where we can understand Ahmadi Ali's case and why is it should be looked as a trend. These big corporations, Amazons and the Targets, Googles and the Facebooks, they're all getting together to create this system for whatever reason. So back in 2003, Safe City, Target launched Safe City. Safe City was a project for crime. Was a crime prevention model that was going to be implemented in designated retail areas and jurisdictions across the United States. They picked 4 places. Not many. They probably already doing in Minneapolis, but they picked 4 cities to implement this in as a project. It's a pilot program, and the model is characterized by frequent meetings and information sharing. So the connectivity between the retail department and police, neighborhood retails, along with enhanced technology. So what they're talking about, facial recognition. They're talking about whatever they can utilize far as databases of individuals who are known, who've committed crimes, right? Similar to their background checks, and not allow. So they don't want you to work for them, but they also don't want you in their stores. And also in 100-mile, it'd be great if it was just in their stores. So you're like, fuck you, fuck your store. But they're doing a 100-mile radius of where their stores are located. So around their stores. So what they're doing is they're creating a safe city, right? They're getting rid of the homeless. Anybody could be construed as not being able to, or not spending money in Target. They want you away from their stores. So I'm keep on going with their partnerships with this, or along with enhanced technologies such as the use of radio networks, enable real-time communication with safe city partners, and implementation of closed circuit TVs. We talked about this closed circuit TVs in Minneapolis and how they increase the closed circuit TVs, and how now they're using networks from closed circuit TVs to being able to network into other areas and utilize that footage for whatever reason. All right. They also research partnerships also employed situational crime prevention. So they're trying to keep everything in this crime prevention area so it makes sense. It doesn't look like they're not selling these funny colored dishes anymore. It just looks like they're concerned with the community and making sure they product is minimized. Okay, so it doesn't pique anybody's interest. Like, oh, they're just doing Target things, making sure we're safe. The question I guess you need to ask is, who's safe? Who's safe? It's not you safe, is who's safe, right? I think the biggest specific. So what I failed to acknowledge is that after 2003, Target reaches out to the Urban Institute with grant money, with seed money, but grant money coming from the National Institute of Justice for them to engage in an action of research or partnership to evaluate the implementation of this safe city. So after they piloted it in these 4 cities, they then asked a third party to write a peer review, and that's what it's usually called. And the reason you write a peer review, if anybody's actually read a peer review, it's basically so you substantiate credibility in whatever community you're trying to. If it's a science, or if it's, in this case, it's criminal justice, you want people to refer to your paper as innovation, or this is what the new thing is, start talking about, especially people coming out of these criminal justice programs. They want them to start referring to your program. So you go get a third party, right? And this is how history's always been. This is how they created history, and have individuals quoting things that make no sense, that are lies, because they go get supposedly third parties to write these papers as a counterbalance. And they do that same thing. It's a tactic they do in its community. Why is this so important? Why are you bringing out this? Because I say, when we connect the dots, we're going to ask ourselves a question. Why are we shopping at Target? Why are we enabling these individuals who are utilizing criminal justice? We're basically funding them to use tactics to send our people to prison, because that's what they're doing. They're going into these urban areas, and they're utilizing monies to fund police officers, whatever it might be. And we'll break down specifically what they're funding in order to send people to prison. The wrong people. They can't even get it right. The wrong people. But it makes sense in their minds. And I want to point out the specific goals of this program. Remember, Target is selling dishes and Tide and all that other shit. But you find yourself in the realm of criminal injustice. So one of the specific goals of this study that the Urban Institute was given the task of doing, charged with doing, was to select comparison sites for impact of analysis purpose. So when they implemented this safe city, compared to other cities, matching mall types and retail composition, crime volume, geographical location. So what we could say we could say like a sample city, so this is A and this is B, and A, based on safe city, has seen a decrease of certain types of individuals, certain types of crimes, and those individuals not come into that area, so they can further it, right? So you start with a micro to macro. So that was the purpose of it. So there's a couple of different things I want you to understand. Like, so now you can't say that you didn't know what the city was doing and the purpose of it, because you'll start seeing the statistics coming out. Okay, well, we're criminalizing homeless people. We're making individuals' life worse, because now once individuals become in contact with your law enforcement, now they have criminal records, and you're disabling them to pursue anything, housing, jobs, employment. Because Target, you don't hire felons, so it behooves you to start criminalize these individuals. So now you can't. So now they can't not even get employment with your place. They can't get employment anywhere because you're arresting them for being in your area. Okay, so at the end of the day, anyone shopping at Target, this is my position, is complicit with assisting this company in incarcerating their loved ones. So why are you saying that? Why does that make sense? Why would you say something like that? Just want to go get my funny colored dishes, and I want to go talk to because it's the whitest store you ever seen, and they're red and tan, and my electronics and all the other stuff from these individuals. The reason I say what I say about Target is because as I break this further down, you can see where your monies are being spent. But I want to first point out, I went to 2006. I started at 2003 explaining the program to you, Safe City, which is supposedly a crime prevention apparatus that they're going to utilize in a 100-mile radius of their stores in order to ensure or reduce whatever. I say sterilization of the area. You can call it what you want to call it. So in 2020, there was a letter written to Target, and the Security Exchange got involved with this. I'm not sure the inner workings of it, but a company. So it's a private company, but it also has I think a philanthropic part of it, and a philanthropic part of it is called Nathan Cummings Foundation, better known to us as Sarah Lee. So Sarah Lee has stock in Target. Okay. And if you look up the foundation, not Sarah Lee, the foundation has a great ethical, moral compass, and however it fills itself out, it has a mission statement of being just and equal. So they were really worried about the safe city and their image. It makes sense because I just told you there's no way that Target didn't know what they were doing. Targeting black folks, targeting homeless. That's what they were doing. They knew that what they were doing, but it wasn't until Nathan Cummings Foundation wrote them a letter and asking them as a stockholder, and they're a stakeholder, not a stock. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we want you to do X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z is what, Mom? The proposal was, or the letter was written saying shareholders of Target Corporation urge the board of directors to instate a prohibition on safe city partnerships unless the board concludes after evaluation using independent evidence. Because remember, the 2006 was not independent. It was seed money. It's federal government trying to boast the fact that this works, right? It does what it's supposed to do. Regardless of who gets affected by it, it does what it needs to do. Independent evidence that these partnerships do not increase the likelihood of violation of civil and human rights and do not exacerbate racial inequalities. So apparently Target didn't know that's what they were doing, because this company knew it. Somebody knew it. Somebody knew what was going on, and they wanted to remove themselves from any harm that could be associated with their company. Target didn't get no fuck. Keep paying us, keep sending us those checks in, keep doing what you're doing, because we're going to keep spending our money the way buying stadiums that people can't work in, that has felonies. They want you to work as seasonal labor. Even in a lot of their places, they want to hire people on temporary, but they do not want to give you benefits. They don't want to have you associated with the company. Again, I say that is fine. Fuck Target. Fuck you, Target. We don't want to work for your goofy ass and sell your funny colored dishes. Anyway, all we want you to do is repair the harm you caused and get the fuck out the way. You want black folks shopping at Target? Cool. You want people of color shopping at Target? Cool. Motherfuckers spend their money somewhere else. But what we don't want you to do is utilize your faulty pseudoscience to convict individuals. We'll get further into that as we continue with this. But we just want to establish what the proposal was about and why the proposal is so critical in understanding what's going on. All right. So with that, we had Nathan Cummings Foundation saying they wanted to disassociate themselves, or they wanted to be on the right side of this safe city. And what it looks like for them that Target was doing was basically utilizing safe cities to cleanse the city of individuals they did not like: homeless, poor, people of color, individuals who could not afford to live in that area. They wanted to remove. They were going to do it by facial recognition. So what Target does after that, they want to rebut this assumption, or this allegation, and they want to give their stakeholders reasons to ensure that Target is not in criminal justice. Target is just in selling dishes, funny colored dishes. So what does Target do? They dispel it by saying they hadn't recently given money. And what monies are we talking about, Target? We're talking about grants being given out to individuals from $10,000 to $3,000, from $3,000 to $10,000 has been given out to individuals. We're talking about grants were less than 1.5 million. I'm thinking this is a cumulative grants because they're small incremental monies, but a total of 1.5 million has been given out to individuals. And why are you giving this money out to individuals? Subject matters limits for these were public safety grants, and you could, and they're grants, and they're grants. So they're giving out money to individuals, specifically law enforcement fundings. And what did it include? What specific areas were made you eligible for funding? 2020. They prior to that. So we just let's back up for a second. So prior to that, they were giving out monies. In 2020, they refined it because before that, here's what they were giving money out for. It's kind of tricky how you try to word it. They're trying to, because remember, they get the letter in 2020 stating that the individuals, stakeholders are concerned with the monies they're giving out. They said, after 2020, we find these specific areas ineligible for funding. So this, I'm interpreting, prior to 2020, these were monies these were areas that they were willing to give money for: training, capital of building construction projects, law enforcement, general, specialized, or investigative equipment, administrative costs such as staff salaries or travel expenses, endowment campaigns, which is, if you want to write a paper saying that this safe city is great, they endow you with some money to do that. Fundraisers. So I mean, you probably want to check into some of these political campaigns and see if Target, based on a person's conversation, that Target didn't provide monies for those individuals, especially if they had a pro law enforcement. And you can see where you get this ludicrous conversation, but you have a place where you're spending your money at, that you come spend your hard money with, who's politically inclined and favors the side of this radical Republican. I wouldn't even say radical Republican. I would just say this tough on crime BS. But yet still, us people of color who suffer the most from criminal injustice and have the toughest time coming up with money to go to these stores. But then you're getting a double whammy is what I'm getting at. So you try to go spend your money at these stores, yet and still on the same instance, you have individuals incarcerated you have to spend money for, that they're getting taxed the hell out of being incarcerated, and you have no money, but then still you're giving your money to this place that utilizes your money to incentivize law enforcement to further incarcerate innocent individuals. And we're gonna get to the innocent part in a little bit, but that's basically if you follow the money. So it's not so much boycotting as de-investment, disinvestment, removing our monies from these areas that we find we're spending our money at, companies we're spending our money with who don't have our interest in, and we don't understand where our money's being spent with. So you're getting hell coming and going. You're getting hell because you got an individual in prison that you're trying to, or county jail, you're dealing with criminal citations or whatever it might be. Because remember, Target's Prior to 2020, Target is spending this money on anything law enforcement comes up with. We're talking about fucking specialized investment equipment. We're talking about travel, salaries, endowments, weapons, weapon-related programs. They're in alcohol treatment for these alcoholics that call themselves cops. Anything you could go to Target for. They got $1.5 million that they're willing to give out to individuals. Keep that in mind. These individuals, Target, is providing monies to this law enforcement, taking your money. Remember, I just told you that if you're shopping there, you're complicit in them and their tactics. So you can't go to these events and say you want your loved one out of prison when you go to shop at Target, and Target is the reason why they're there. You're going too far, you're moving too fast. I'm gonna break that down for you. But right now, I just want you to understand where the money's going and where the money's coming from and how they're taking your money and utilizing it to further incarcerate individuals. And it's indirectly through the funding of these with this grant money. And it took Nathan Cummings Foundation to point this out. Because Target didn't know what they were doing. And like I said, it took up to 2020. So sometime during the whole George Floyd deal and burning down Target and all this other stuff coming up, do they realize, damn, we fucked up. Whatever. So let's break down a couple of different things. First of all, Target went on the defensive when they were accused of it. They said, well, since 2020, we haven't given the monies away because they specified it so far that it makes it impossible for law enforcement to get the money. It's still there. It's just now we're not going to give you money to go on a trip to the boundary waters for whatever reason. Because remember, they're in bed with them. Okay. All right. Let me say that. Let's move on. Let's just say Target, since 2020, you haven't given any money to law enforcement. Somehow you didn't get a conscience. You just said it would be bad for business. And so you didn't even say that. You just know now it's bad for business. Okay. All right, let's go with that. They also, after they said that, because they have to dispel these allegations being against them, being waged against them. So they said, on top of that, our day-to-day business is still selling kitchenware and electronics and all that other stuff. We're not in the law enforcement business. Don't get it fucked up. We don't do law enforcement. Unlike Amazon, who actually manufactures surveillance, where they had a facial recognition software that they were selling to the government, we're not doing that. So you can't put us in the same boat with that. We have safe city. We want white folks to be able to walk their dogs and drink they motherfucking latte cappuccinos, whatever the fuck they drinking. Walk down the street without seeing bums. Homeless people. That's what we want. All right, cool. So that's what Target says. That was their defense. That was part of their defense. So they're writing a letter dispelling this. Like, we haven't given money away since 2020, and we're not in that business like Amazon is. But hold up, wait a minute. This is where it really gets real. This is where it comes with it. Well, I guess what Brother Malcolm says, the chicken come on the roost, right? Love it when it happens. In this case, we have Mahdi Ali's case. Old Target shows up, 2010. 10 years before 2020, they in the business. They 48 hours and cops. They selling dishes during the day and fighting crime at night, right? And under the guise of crime prevention. Yet still they're in the partnerships and collaborations with law enforcement with your money. With your money, right? You're trying to put phone time. You're dealing with phone time and visits to all these. There's a whole criminal justice system that's set around a stimulus program for poor white folks. You're feeding them, and you're feeding Target. So, and you're going to work. They're making you go to work, so that's not. So in Mahdi Ali's case, 2010, Target, there was 2 forensic experts who worked for Target Corporation. And when police were investigating the murders, because remember in Mahdi Ali's case, they cannot see the individuals who's doing the shooting. So what they did is they asked Target, because remember Target in 2006 they had this institute. They all working in combination together. They write this paper saying that Safe City's working. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's taking us to the Jetson age. In fact, we selling the TVs. You can buy a TV from us, and then you can walk outside and be able to take that TV home and put it in your house. You know, we getting rid of all these problems. We know what the problem is, and we're getting rid of the problems. The lab was correct. This is Target's. Target has an accredited forensic crime lab. The lab was created to investigate the company's problems with organized retail crime, but also it does pro bono work for local law enforcement. Now, they don't do pro bono work to help the people who have been charged with these bogus ass cases. This is the conversation that we need to have. They're not helping us get out of the criminal injustice but they're willing to help the individuals who are putting us there. And I think that's the biggest understanding I'm trying to get you guys to see. It's like, we're talking about divesting our money in places like Target, but we also saying, how is your money's being spent? Because that's important. So Minneapolis Police Detectives asked the lab to help investigate the C-word market shooting by examining the surveillance footage. That Target experts came as witness, and they said they could not disprove whether or not Mahdi Ali was that individual. So they didn't say he did or did not do it. They said, hey, more than likely, based on the information you get, he did it. We can't say 100%, 110%, but it was enough to cement his fate, right? It was enough to cement his fate. As expert, from all the stuff they've done previously, they come in as expert, not bringing dishware, not being tied. They come in as expert. Target does. Your money. So you can understand why I'm happy to see that they're suffering a loss. And I feel as personally that there should be no Targets anywhere. Now, what are you saying? Why are you so bent against Target, all this other stuff with Target, this and that, this and that? Let me break it down and explain it to you and make all this make sense. So I started with explaining to you in 2003, the Safe City. 2006, they go get a peer review done. 2010, they help convict Mahdi Ali. 2020, they say, hey, water beneath the bridge. You know, all the money we used to give, police surveillance, go up to bounty waters, hunt deer, we're not giving that money out no more. So Sarah Lee, which is Nathan Cummings Foundation, your points are muted. We atone for our sins. A Target, you haven't atoned for your sins. We want to talk about harm prevention with you, and we want to talk about irreparable damage. You've convicted individuals using your faulty forensics because you sided with law enforcement and you lost your direction. You sell dishes. You don't do crime. I don't give a fuck how much money you guys can invest in these different programs. That the criminal justice system, anything you should be, I'm not even reformist, but you should have been trying to reform the system instead of trying to embolden the system, continue to do what it did. That's why your fucking stores got burnt the fuck down. Because people knew this in the community, what you was on. And black folks they've been upset with you for the longest. You're just too stupid to fucking realize it. Goofy motherfuckers shopping in your goddamn stores or trying to work for your goofy ass like the DLC. So what are you saying? I'm saying when they were giving out that $1.5 million that's still there available, that they're trying to still give to law enforcement, you might want to try to correct some of the wrongs you've done. You might want to start those family members of individuals who've been convicted based on your faulty information. Maybe you should reach out to those families and try to get them a lawyer. Maybe that's something you should probably want to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that makes more sense to you. Some of the communities that your faulty forensics and your crime prevention and the disabling people from having jobs based on the bullshit you pull. Maybe you want to reach out to some of those individuals and really set up some type of societal connectivity. Because remember, I started off saying this is not just economics, because that's all they want to look at it from. It's a social economic issue. where social economically, we're not spending our money with your goofy ass to get us conscious and understand how you destroy the society in this community. That's how this shit breaks down. So you might want to bring a check with you to the table when you sit down, when you atone for your sins and the things you've done. Because you knew right off the bat exactly what you were doing. You had the climate to institute it, so you instituted it. Right or wrong, it did not matter. You instituted it. Now you're trying to say that everything is good again and refute these arguments. But I know there's individuals right now trying to get out of prison because of your goofy ass, doing that stupid ass shit, sending your experts from your lab when you should have been back there popping popcorn, whatever the fuck y'all do at that dumbass store. And I've been consciously, and that's why I say like they have this economic complexion to the conversation, but consciously, I've not shopped with Target since I experienced them. And what is your experience at SAFMO? Saving that for the last, for you individuals who really don't want to hear about SAFMO experience with it. But my experience with Target has been, first of all, the background check. They don't hire any felons, which is fine. I mean, they can maybe you don't want us to spend money with you, but you definitely don't want us working for you. Cool, fine with that. Walmart's probably the same way. I never applied to work at Walmart. Didn't apply to work at Target. The store actually applied to work at their distribution center because, again, my trade is I have trades, and I'm cool with what I do. But besides that, as I was getting out of prison, the only thing you can get as a felon is these temporary jobs, and these temporary jobs send you to their stadiums to work for their stadiums, to get dogged out working at the stadiums doing dumbass shit and being talked to as a dog because they know they can do it to you because they know you can't get a job anywhere else. You would not be working in a temp service if you could get a job somewhere else. So indirectly, they continue to create harm, continue to violate people, continue to further this racist white supremacy conversation, and utilize it through individuals that are associated with them. So that's that with the whole Target deal. I know everybody has their own experience with this. I mean, you can walk in there and see that Target really doesn't want you in the area. You know what I'm saying? You can see that by the individuals that they have working for them, the type of things that they carry, and which is fine. I mean, that's them. They're suffering it. They're going to continue to suffer. I have no intentions of ever shopping with them ever because of I know what they're about. So with that being said, continue to keep boycotting Target. Like I said, they could sit down at the table and try to right some of their wrongs. And it's all good. It's SAFMO, your prison lawyer. SAFMO, your prison lawyer. It's SAFMO, your prison lawyer. Remember, we need no 100,000 people watching us. We just need you. Continue to support. What's up? SAFMO. What's up, Ron? Ron B in the middle. There's a lot in the little. My man. What's up? Could try to get that Mahdi Ali out to you. I got another demo I'm shooting out. It's basically taking Pray, Dope. Shout out to the guy who hit me up on Dope and asked me to do a reaction to that. I evolved the conversation to Pray, the new movie out, on the Predator saga, Dope, Spell, and Candyman. I interlink those movies to express or tell the Black experience in America. Cold, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming up this weekend. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Say in my comment box. Keep doing this, man. Ain't gonna stop this. I'm keep doing it. I'm gonna do it. Keep doing it. Be doing it in a homeless box in front of Target. Because they can't stop this because the truth needs to be told. And I'm SAFMO. Don't sing, don't dance, don't rap. Don't tell no jokes. I'm gonna give it to you raw. I ain't gonna give it to you all. I'm signing out.
What's going on there? Stealing stuff. about their great past and the prospects for an even greater future. He is a man whose presentation of history is penetrating and powerful, and he has a way of bringing history alive. And I think that those of you that have heard him before, and those of you that are going to hear him tonight, know that there's...
Ron, what do you got to say about SAF Mo saying white MFers?
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, because it's America and you should be able to do and say what the fuck you want. God bless America.